So, I have to mention first that I was at the Comic-Con screening, and I was sitting right next to Bill Paxton.
Oh, so you were sitting on the other side of me?
And you were sitting on the other side of him. That was awesome.
That was cool. Wasn't he a great person to sit through watching a film? Yeah, he was incredible.
I've never
he kept saying, he was like, oh, man.
I was like, if it were anyone other than Bill Paxton, I'd be like, dude, shh, quiet.
I know, he should.
He was slapping his... But that was awesome. I mean, it's got to be kind of fun to see the movie in an environment like that, right?
Yeah. Comic-Con is like the home crowd for us, you know. We know that everyone there is going to be our kind of person, into our kind of stuff, and it was a joy to sort of to sit. I specifically wanted to sit and watch the movie with that audience because it was a lovely experience, and no small part of that was being next to Bill Paxton.
Over, man. I think
film over, man. That's what he said when the credits rolled.
Comic-Con aside, we're very lucky that essentially every city we go to and every city we show the film at, it feels like a home game. You know, everyone really likes it, and
we have our people, don't we?
We do have our people, and we don't take that for granted. And I think we're very lucky that the fact we got to make 3 films together, but we get to come here and go all over the country, and you know, people treat us really nicely. We were in Texas a few weeks ago, and they did a screening in a parking lot, and there were 3,000 people turned up to watch it, and you think, what are you doing here? You know?
And you got to look back at your space days and think how insane it is, 10, 15 years later, whatever it is, that you're at this point where you have such a huge following.
It's amazing that it's done. Amazing that we get to come here, as Nick said. You know, I love the fact that the US audience get it so much, and I don't know if it's because there's that little gap of difference between us because of the British and American thing, and somehow it makes it more, I don't know what it is, but I sometimes feel like we're understood here the most of everywhere, you know, and it's kind of, it's lovely.
This film in particular allows you guys to tackle some kind of pretty dramatic sequences. Is that something that you were looking to put in your next movie, or does it kind of just grow organically from the script?
B.
Yeah, but then I'd also argue there are, you know, lots of drama in Shaun of the Dead Not Fast too. You know, this was just an extension of that, and I think in terms of the subject matter, at least for the first 30 odd minutes before it takes that left turn, you know, it's a bittersweet English parochial comedy about 5 men reuniting. You know.
Yeah, this film is definitely darker, perhaps, but also in Shaun of the Dead, a man had to execute his own mother.
Sure.
It doesn't get much darker than that. But that's always been important to us to populate the story with real drama as well, because if you do, then you throw both into real relief. You know, the comedy becomes funnier, the drama becomes harder to watch. It's kind of, it's great. It's more of a hearty meal than just like an hour. You can watch a film which is very funny, which is just an hour and a half of jokes, and you can forget it before you validate your parking. And for me, that's a worthless experience.
How has the collaboration between the 3 of you changed over the years since the space days, other than the money, obviously, is a little bit more.
Smoke a pipe now.
You do smoke a pipe.
He just smokes pipe.
Has it changed? I mean, I'm not sure it has changed.
Not much.
Really. It's still, I mean, personally, I think I have more say now. You know, when I did Space, that was the first time I'd ever acted. That was the first time I'd ever acted, so it was important that I watched and kept my mouth closed and learned, and that, I believe, was the beginning of my apprenticeship in this business, you know. And now, with 12, 13 years down the line, and we're all producing the thing, so we all have a say in how it's done, and it's a nice way to work, you know. And in terms of day-to-day set mechanics, Edgar goes off and directs, and we do the front of house, so it's quite nice, you know.
It's a system,
lovely way to do it.
Yeah, we've evolved it and developed it, but it's pretty much the same as it was on Shaun, and we never consciously make things easy for ourselves. We always write a script which is more ambitious than the amount of money we have to make it. So making Shaun of the Dead was a very similar experience to making The World's End, even though it was a much smaller film in scope, you know.